Hey there everyone, Hanyou here, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 1 Onikakushi. We're picking up where we left off last time, so let's jump right back into it, shall we? If I kept on trying to push the matter, it may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Oh well, I'll give up this time. Man, I was really looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up on it. At the next opportunity, I shall give you a second thrashing. Oh ho ho! The murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is the pistol. It was you after all. What did you say? Then I'll just. Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me. The murderer is Keiichi. In the lounge with the rope. I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this. No! Keiichi-san is such a beast. Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system. Wah! I'll remember this, Keiichi-san. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. How unfortunate. Cute, cute. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rina, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion, Satoshi. Nani? Who's Satoshi? Satoshi? Not all the cards were made by us. Or at least every card beside this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall. Keiichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up. Being rushed by Rina, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rina had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rina, there must be quite a few people who transfer from this school, right? I tried asking Rina in a bit of a roundabout way. Rina made a troubled face and then answered. Yeah. Hinamizawa is a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then. Then is Satoshi another one of those transferees? Sorry, I don't really know. There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate. I'm not saying it to be mean. Just last year, I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him. So I didn't hear much about him. Sorry. I'm not sure, sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance. Keiichi-kun, you're making a scary face. Why is it? Why? It was probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Ah, sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. I'm just feeling down about. I'm just feeling down about it. I rustled Rena's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I don't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long, outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry. Keiichi-kun, are you tired, maybe? Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made this situation even more unsettling. You think so? Yeah. You seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold. Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer. It could be that the fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live, after all. Of course, you've gotten tired since there's so much you need to get used to and remember. Maybe that's it. Yeah, it has to be. Rena was also like that at first, too. I can tell, you know? I wonder if Rena also experienced the slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I tried to hear. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamazawa. How was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened. It was the same as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Michan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did still feel a little out of place. Rena told me all the details of when she had moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So Satoko got you, too? Yeah. There was a thumbtack put on my chair. Poke. Then with that, yeah. That really takes me back. When were you invited into the club? The first day? Nah. There wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day she said we should stay after and hold a big game tournament. Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it. This is a secret, but Mi-chan used to be really bad at the beginning. She'd never win. Huh? Mion, really? I can't even imagine that. She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Seriously, don't tell. I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty. I began making more friends besides Mi-chan after that, but yeah. It might have only been since you moved here that I had finally felt like I had gotten used to it here. I guess Rena had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder when I'll finally be considered one of them. Huh? Did you say something? No, sorry. Just talking to myself. Keiichi-kun, you're silly. Rina was poking me and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke. Hey, Rina. Is there something that everybody is keeping from me? Huh? No, not at all. You're lying, aren't you? Rina suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense. What do you mean by that, Keiichi-kun? Her tone was still the same cheery and light-hearted one as before. You are, aren't you? Keeping something from me. After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect. Well then, Keiichi-kun, oh my. Back off. Back off. No. No. Her eyes, man. Her fucking eyes. Oh my. That's very disconcerting and more than a little disturbing. Oh boy. Well then, Keiichi-kun, aren't you keeping something from us? Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rina. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rina. Aren't you? Lies or secrets, aren't you? You are... secrets. She didn't actually say that part. But she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomatake-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew and I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomatake-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyushiro-sama. Then, aren't we even? No, I'm not. No lies, nor secrets. Liar. Her answer was instant and it shook me. Rina stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying? Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room. I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened. The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? Oh boy. Oh boy. But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of the car near the school gate. With some man we don't know. Rina knew everything. She knew I was called out by Uishi-san and that I heard about the incident with Tomatake-san as well. Did she know all of it? Exactly who was that man? I don't know him. Why did someone you don't know have business with you? I want to know that myself. Then what did you talk about? It has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. Back, Satan! Go! But this is bad. This is like really bad. Lies! Rina's scream echoed through the trees. Sending frightened birds into the air. Personally, if this was me, Keiichi-san, I'd be booking it in the opposite direction about now. Seriously. But he seems to be trapped in a way that I didn't expect. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized the person in front of me, she wasn't Rina Ryugu. Then, who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Rina Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating. Right? And then she made a facial expression that Rina normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rina's usual smile, it chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Rina's face was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me. We also have secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets. It was Rina's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. The person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rina, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long, empty silence, she finally spoke. Let's go. It's getting chilly. It was Rina again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. Okay, well, things just went from 0 to fucked up real fast, didn't they? Like, wow. I mean, I expected things to start getting real tense real fast after the Watanagashi, but not to this degree, not this quickly at least. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rina was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold, my body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and asked myself once again, who was that person? Who looked like Rina Ryugu? I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rina going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Rina. Then, who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that that was someone else, not Rina, so tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rina like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps. Keiichi, it's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Uishi from the Okinomiya bookshop. Nice cover there, Uishi. Uishi-san? Oh, it's Uishi-san. Sorry, since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Uishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my police hearing me talk to the police. My parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Ah, yeah. Okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk and it was pretty hard to hang up. So how's it been, Mibara-san? Did anything strange happen recently? I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Uishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Kinomiya. If he's from around here, he might know. Uishi-san. Do you know what this Onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away, like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Hinamizawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, Mibara-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not going to tell you anything. Ah, no. That's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons, you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. They'd go to villages, snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. Demons snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means. They said that the curse of being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row. But I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away happened together. First time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, Mibara-san? That's what I want to know. I heard Rina and Mion talking. They said if it really was Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and demoning away would happen. Uishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind. Mibara-san, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that is true, isn't it? One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically, what if he isn't on the run, but was demoned away? Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Uishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators. Sorry about that. Ignore that. The police already knew the perpetrators. So they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then what about the incident the next year, when the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away? We can't say someone is dead without their body. Until a certain number of years passed, by law, she's treated as still alive. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. How about the third year? The Shinto priest died of illness and his wife committed suicide? Ibara-san, that's actually the exact same scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. I'm not sure if we could call these cases as being demoned away. It's just as you said, every year one person goes missing. In the incident this year, the woman with Tomatake-san has gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But, well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea, it's considered a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, the man, he died in his holding cell. He swallowed a spork and choked to death. How the fuck do you swallow a spork? I mean, obviously it's a suicide, but that's a bit on the ridiculous side, don't you think? It's not known whether it was an accident or a suicide. How would that be an accident? It's either a murder or a suicide, because either someone forced the spork down his throat or he shoved it down his throat himself, because if you've seen a spork, you know what I'm talking about. There's no way you could accidentally choke on a spork. Meaning for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing. That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never really realized they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something they had in common. Could it be that those demoned away have something in common? Uishi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was... Hold on a second. I'm going to make a bit of an assumption here. It doesn't really fit, as far as I know, with the first with the murder and the perpetrator. But every one of them so far, the one who goes missing is always the person who loved the person who died. the wife in the first one, the wife in the second one, the child of the third one, and I'm assuming the girlfriend of Tomatake-san. Right? The only thing that doesn't make sense would be the perpetrator and the dam employee. First year was the dam employee. Second year was the wife of the dam project supporter. Third year was the wife of a Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's family's child, and the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. Exactly as I said. The only thing that doesn't fit is the damn employee, unless, well, you know. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. Are you dense, man? I can see something very clearly that connects them. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. And then that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. She didn't have a husband. Right? She was a widow or something, right? So that does actually make sense, since she didn't have a husband or anything like that. It took the other person that loved her. So it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomatake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing in the fourth year, who were they? Apparently he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. His name, oh fuck, Satoshi Hojo-san. The person that went missing last year, Satoshi Hojo-san. And on that note, we are going to end this episode. So if you enjoyed it, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more content in the future. And until next time, everybody, have a good one. I'll see you next time. Bye.